Pac-12s, I need your help. We're talking about your Seattle Seahawks each and every day on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Tyler Jones Live. Give me a follow there as I am approaching 8,000 followers on that platform where the show never stops, continuing to give you the latest updates on your favorite team throughout the entire offseason. Having a lot of fun interacting with you guys there. Give me a follow on X at Tyler Jones Live. Help me reach that next mark of 8,000 followers, and we'll get started with today's show. Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. In life, you can be one of two things. You are either a winner or a loser. And in the first session of OTAs, we're going to break down the winners and losers so far based on what we've learned to this point in the first few practice sessions. Let's begin with the quarterback position. Geno Smith, a big winner so far in OTAs. Nothing but positive things we've heard about the Seahawks quarterback in the first OTAs session as he's quickly learning this new offense that is suited for Geno Smith to play to his strengths. It's a very similar system to what he played with at West Virginia, this air raid scheme that Ryan Grubb is putting together. And one of the things that Geno talked about was that he's a drop-back passer, and this system is built for drop-back passing. So that's very good for him. Here's Geno, as you can see, in practice. And one of the things that they're doing is that everybody is wearing game uniforms in practices. That's a new thing that Mike Macdonald has introduced. He wants these guys to bring the energy as if they're getting ready for game day every time they take the field. So Geno wearing the throwback jersey there, and he and the rest of the quarterbacks been doing the same thing this week. Here's what Geno had to say about the offense. It's a matter of repetition because it's all new to all of us. For the most part, everyone is learning a new system, and we're all pretty much starting at the same spot. And so for us, just talking about things we may not understand with the coaches or gaining some clarity when we need it. Let's go to the loser list now, and we begin with Abraham Lucas. Abraham Lucas not participating in OTAs as he continues his rehab from the knee injury that he suffered that kept him out for most of last year. And I got to tell you, I'm very concerned about Abe Lucas. I told you the last couple of months that I'm afraid that this is a lingering thing that is going to persist on. Remember what Pete Carroll described this injury with Abraham Lucas at the end of last year? He said it was chronic, right? That's not good. Well, Mike Macdonald gave this update, and here's what he had to say about the injury to Lucas. It's hard to tell. We're shooting for camp right now. Abe's getting after it in rehab, so I'm proud of his efforts he's putting in. Proud of his efforts? That's what we're going with here? That doesn't make me feel so great as far as the return of Abraham Lucas of when that will happen. Be honest with me, our pinned comment today. Are you concerned about Abraham Lucas's recovery from this injury? I'll say this. The one silver lining is that they did bring in George Fant. George Fant is more than capable of starting all 17 games if he needs to. But this Seahawks team really could use Abraham Lucas. They need him out there. What do you guys think? Y for yes, in for no. Are you concerned with the Abe Lucas injury or not? Next on our winners list, got to mention Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy really just kind of took the internet by storm this week with his Seahawks OTAs debut. The hype train, it's been cooking with Byron Murphy. And the thing that's so fascinating about what we've seen the last couple days with the reports about Byron Murphy is just how eye-popping it is of him in live action. This man is just built like Hercules or something. I mean, he's a woolly mammoth. I mean, if you zoom in on this photo, look at those legs, the quads, the arms. I mean, he's just built out of a factory, and that's what caught everybody's attention this week. Not only did he play well, but just seeing it with your own eyes in person was quite the sight to behold from Byron Murphy this week. And Mike Salk from Seattle Sports had this to say about Byron Murphy. I have never seen in person a body like that of first-round defensive tackle Byron Murphy II. You hear people talk about his muscular frame. but it's difficult to adequately explain how compact it is. He looks as similar to Aaron Donald as anyone could. His upper legs are huge to the point where they barely fit in his shorts. He is strong, compact, and active, and he looks like he'd be a royal pain to block. So all these compliments about Byron Murphy's body, you would think he was Sidney Sweeney or something here. But I got to tell you, I love it. I love hearing all this about Byron Murphy, the Seahawks' first-round draft pick. All right, back to the losers list we go. We began with Abraham Lucas as our first loser, and our second is also on the offensive line. Anthony Bradford, who got banged up and was not able to participate this week. He is in a competition for the starting right guard spot there with Christian Haynes, and him not being out there, big missed opportunity for Anthony Bradford as he and Haynes go back and forth to try to see who gets the upper hand to be the starting right guard. And Lee Val at 12th Man Rising did a great job explaining the situation this week. He said the following: forget about McClendon Curtis taking first-team reps in early OTAs. McClendon Curtis is not going to be the starting right guard. I can tell you that right now. He is not going to start for the Seahawks in 2024, and he might be lucky to make the team. The real battle will be between second-year pro Bradford and rookie Haynes. Bradford is dealing with an ankle issue currently and is missing valuable reps in front of new coaches. More to come here on Seahawks Today in just a moment. But first, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seahawks Today for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long. We're breaking down every session of OTAs. We'll be talking about mandatory minicamp here pretty soon, counting you down all the way to training camp. And we are going live starting next week, not just once, but twice a week, every Wednesday and Friday. We're going to simulate the entire Seahawks season on Madden and have some Madden watch parties here in the coming days. So you won't want to miss any of it here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, join the family, stay up to date with what's going on with your Seattle Seahawks all offseason long. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Let's go to another winner. That's where we find Rayshawn Jenkins, one of the newest members of the Seattle Seahawks, who joined this team from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Rayshawn Jenkins. I liked him with the Jacksonville Jags, and I like everything I've seen so far. He spoke to the media. We heard Mike McDonald get the chance to talk about him. We'll tell you what each of them had to say, but it was really fascinating hearing Rayshawn Jenkins talk about what he was looking for in free agency. He wanted to play for a big market contending team. And he said that the San Francisco 49ers actually matched the offer the Seahawks did, but the taxes in California were too high that he'd rather live in Seattle and play for the Seahawks. So thanks, Gavin Newsom, for that one, as Rayshawn Jenkins is going to enjoy the much cheaper cost of living in the Pacific Northwest. Here's what McDonald had to say about Jenkins. We've seen the things we anticipated off of tape, off of repetition, and doing our homework. He's going to be a leader on this football team. We're going to count on him, and he's very talented. Jenkins, on joining the Seahawks, said, I wanted to go to a contender. I wanted to go to a big market. I felt like Seattle was the perfect place. Plenty of opportunity, a team with a head coach that's defensive-minded, and he was throwing out compliments to Devon Witherspoon, among others, so he's fitting in right away with that Seahawks team. Next on the loser list is Dre'Mont Jones. Is he a D-end? Is he an outside linebacker? We will see. As we've heard that Dre'Mont Jones, after having a disappointing year starting on the defensive line last year, could be making the move to that outside linebacker position. But we did not really see Dre'Mont Jones this week, and the pressure's on Dre'Mont Jones. Nobody is making more money on this defense than Dre'Mont Jones, and he's in danger of not being a starter when the season begins. Tim Weaver of Seahawks Wire had this to say: Jones will get an opportunity to make an impact at a different position this year, with Byron Murphy II taking over as a starter inside. Jones will be making the move to the edge. Jones' run defense is sufficient, but they really need him to cause more damage as a pass rusher to justify keeping him on the roster for another year. Who is a loser from Seahawks OTAs? So we've gone through the loser list. We're also talking winners as well. Let me know who you believe is a loser from this round of OTAs. Way in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Devon Witherspoon on the winners list. We had to talk about Devon Witherspoon. It was quite the week for Devon Witherspoon, not only making a name for himself and catching the attention of Mike McDonald and Rayshawn Jenkins and others, but also taking the leadership role, being a vocal guy for this Seahawks team, as he was kind of chirping a little bit in Mike McDonald's press conference this week and just being the voice of this defense, if you will. This is Devon Witherspoon's defense now, with Bobby Wagner gone, Jordan Brooks, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. He's kind of the one being the vocal voice of sorts, and it's going to be the defensive identity based on Devon Witherspoon from here on out. McDonald had this to say on Witherspoon: "Where do I start? Great feel for the game. He picks things up really good, but just understands ball and plays at a really fast speed. At nickel, there's a lot of action in there, and so when guys have that type of skill set, you kind of get them around the action as much as possible. So he'll do all the things. He'll blitz, play man, zone, play deep area of field, so it's a fun position to play." And you got to think that Mike McDonald is going to have a lot of fun with Devon Witherspoon, maximizing his potential there. Last on our winners list. I'm so happy that this guy's on the winners list this week. He needed a good week. Riq Woolen. A good week from Riq. No rhyme intended there. But Riq Woolen, we told you there was a lot of pressure on Riq Woolen entering 2024 with a down year last season, struggling to tackle. It was far removed from the Pro Bowler that he was his rookie season, but McDonald had this to say about one of his starting outside corners. "I think Tariq's in a great spot. We had a great conversation today, and I'm expecting big things from him. Just like everyone else on the defense and on the rest of the team, we're going to be pushing him because there's greatness in there." So there you have it. That's our list of winners and losers. Who's a winner for you from Seahawks OTAs? Give me a name in the comment section below. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. Follow me on X at Tyler Jones Live, and I will see you next time. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you then.